Hey everyone. This is Magdalena Puchalowski. I'm a behavior support TOSA, and I am here to share about a self-regulation space that I had the opportunity to create with staff from Scobee Elementary. Let's get started. So I'm going to share a little bit about some background information of where this space where this idea came from. So, as most of you guys know, Scobee Elementary had transitioned to a full inclusive model this school year. And previous to those years, I know their staff and building had done a lot of mindful work towards shifting mindsets and focusing on the whole child, working with our students, and meeting our students where they are at while keeping solid relationships and building up the restorative practices in their building. So the space station was sparked from this mindset shift. We know that students have challenging behaviors because of skill deficits, and for some, their nervous systems are dysregulated. So Scobee had the opportunity and desire to create a space that offered opportunities for our students to learn about their bodies and regulate in a safe space so they could come to class ready to engage and participate. What is the space station? Well, glad you asked. The space station is a safe space for our students to regulate and practice social and emotional skills. The space station is used as a proactive measure. It is not for exclusion, it is not for punishment, and definitely not for isolation. It is in alignment with many mental health and wellness initiatives and frameworks, many of which I know we are familiar with in the Auburn School District. If you head to the CDC website, you'll find many other initiatives and frameworks that relate to a self-regulation space like Scobee's. This space has constantly evolved throughout the year based on our students' needs and the logistics in our building. The aims and outcomes you see on the screen are what helped guide some decisions we made throughout the school year. So, our ultimate aim and outcomes for our space station were for students to increase focus and attention span in the classroom. It would be just another opportunity in their day for some students to develop their fine and gross motor skills. It's, of course, a place where they're going to increase their sensory and cognitive development. We hope that this could be a space for some restorative practices to happen. This space is a consistent area for students to access tools for self regulation and also the ability to practice and explore tools so they could potentially use it later in the classroom. And ultimately, it's just we want our students to be school ready, have some practice and understanding of their executive functioning skills and their social emotional learning skills. So, if you're thinking of creating a space that's similar to the self regulation space at Scobee, there are some things to consider in regards to systems and procedures. So, I'm going to share a brief journey of how our space and systems and procedures had evolved throughout the year. So, we had gathered materials from the school budget along with a grant, and items were given to us from our specialists, like our OT, which was very, very helpful. Another school I had worked at previously to support a space like this, they actually went on Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp and also had asked staff in their building as another route, as many of us has items we'd like to get rid of. Anyone who entered or used this space, including staff and students, they were trained on the procedures, so everybody had the same message. They knew where to find the materials, how to use the materials appropriately, how to sign the activity log, where to see the activity log, things like that. We know our students thrive on consistency and routine, so getting everyone on the same page was pretty important for a space like this to be run effectively and efficiently. I think we continually go back to remind staff and students of our systems and procedures. At the start of the school year, we started with a soft opening. This included a handful of students that were specifically chosen because they had staff assigned to them, or they were the students who really needed a space like this ASAP. And there were staff in the building that had flexible schedules to help monitor them. So during that time, we had made tweaks and adjustments based on what the students were kind of showing and telling us. I mean, this is a space for our students, so we needed their student voice. After a couple months of this, we opened up the space to all our students in a sort of grand opening. This included teachers selecting 1 to 3 students who were able to access the space as needed given a flexible time frame. After 4 weeks of that system, we found we needed more scheduled time blocks to limit the amount of students at one time, which would allow for more consistency for the monitors and for the space to not get too crowded. So, right now, we have 30-minute time blocks throughout the day where staff will sign up for a spot to monitor the space station. This monitor schedule is updated weekly based on staff availability. Teachers are also able to add or remove students or maybe change times based on what's happening for the students or maybe their classroom schedule. And the activity log is reviewed once a month to kind of analyze the data, who's coming at the appropriate times, things like that. So here's a peek at our activity log. It consists of the monitor, the student, the time in out, and what the student did, along with a section for any helpful notes or extra information. There's a table that correlates with all the drop downs that will help us sort out the data we need. Here is our monitor schedule. And to use our time more efficiently as monitors, we looked closer at the data and found like the hot spots of the day. So if you are a monitor who needs to sign up, you are going to try to focus more on putting yourself in the red or yellow zones, as green will indicate to the monitors that no student is coming at that time. And yellow indicates that at least 1 or 2 students are scheduled to come at that time, and red indicates that 3 students are going to use that time. So this is what our space station looks like. One side, so the side that you see to the left side of the screen, is our power up side. So this is an open space for physical activity, organized activities, or tasks like obstacle courses. The other side to the right is for powering down. So that's where students are maybe hanging out in the blackout tent, sitting down and using Legos, just more mindful activities. And right in the middle, that is our space station pass that we encourage all our students and teachers to use. I'm going to click through some other pictures, just different angles of our space. And that's that on that. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out. I'm very happy to support. Thanks for your time.